All right, let's kick off. Slide change. Okay, Chris, where's Chris? Hi, Chris. Chris Zong is the founder of Tavo AI, an AI risk ops platform for AI risk and compliance management. She's also the founder of Sundow Ventures, a global digital asset investment collective focused on frontier Web3 infrastructure and next-gen financial systems. With prior experience spanning Microsoft, the Bank for International Settlements, and the interchain ecosystem, Cosmos, as some of you might know, Chris focuses on digital asset market structure, stable coins, and institutional adoption. She's also passionate about empowering founders to think structurally about capital, ownership, and long-term value creation. Please help me welcome Chris.
There you go. Thank you, Amir. It was a very privilege to be here to meet a lot of founders and also celebrate the International Women's Day. Yes. Thank you. I think let me give a little bit of introductions of my business, myself, and also more important, how can I help here, right? So my primary business is in Sundow Ventures. So we are an investment DAO. I don't know how many of you hear about the concept of DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. Yes, it's a mouthful. My business partner also a woman. She's based in Romania. And we started Sundow Ventures 2 years ago. With the goal to actually empower more of the decentralized or collective intelligence when it comes to capital allocation decision making. So for people who understand the venture capital industry, consider us as a decentralized venture capital. The way we're making decisions is very sort of a collective decision making. And we're thinking this has more power when it comes to the capital allocation because it enables the minority's voice being heard. And we particularly, set up the Sundow and wanting to get founders from all backgrounds, all sort of perspectives, and give them the chance to have their voice being heard. That's why me and my co-founders set up the Sundow Ventures. We operation for 1 year already, and we invested in very early stage, pre-seed, Web3 startups. So last year, we invested in 4 startups. It's across different ecosystems, different verticals, but all great founders and great product. So if you are building in the Web3 space, or even just want to get someone to bounce ideas from a venture capital perspectives, I'm happy to connect and just share some of my experiences. Also, Amir mentioned I'm doing some private explorations of my own startup as well, which is AI risk and compliance platform. So essentially what does it do is it translating paper-based policies, for example, GDPR, for example, let's say SOC 1, SOC 2, into technical controls. And then we embedded those controls into your knowledge systems like Jira, Confluence, or your software code bases to enable you to do better evidence collection and continuous monitoring so that you would have a continuous sort of a compliance status or risk control across all your systems. So if you are in this space or you are considering getting certificate like SOC 1, SOC 2, or you need to be GDPR, HIPAA compliance, I'm happy to connect and share some of the perspectives and ideas with you as well. The last thing is because of my investor and founders both identity. I also curated a list of very early stage startup that is suitable to apply for accelerators, grant, and fellowships. I think, for early start founders, funding is one of the most important thing you are struggling with, and I have done this phase, and that's why I personally curated a database of the eligible, very good accelerator programs, fellowship programs, startup programs like StartSpace, as well as the grant you could explore. So for today, for International Women's Day as a celebration, I'm happy to provide you free subscriptions to the platform if you come to me after the event as a celebration, and just really to help folks to be able to have easier to navigate the funding landscapes, especially in Australia and also globally. So I hope this is helpful for people sitting here. And as I said, everyone here, I understand the journey of an early stage startup. Keep up. I think there are a lot of support from StartSpace, and for the founder community, it's a wonderful community. And if anything I could be of a help, do please reach out and let me know. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for Chris? Otherwise, we might get to questions a bit later. Great. Thanks again, Chris. Thank you. All right. Up next, we have Fedwa. Fedwa, if you want to come up. Fedwa has over 20 years experience leading major bids for governments and large corporate. Fedwa has led win strategies and operations across multiple geographies in organizations such as Accenture, Ericsson, Capita, and more. Last year, she left to build what she kept wishing existed. She's a co-founder of Synthrix. Synthrix, at its core, is a tech startup building an enterprise SaaS for regulated industries bidding and work-winning advisory practice. Fedwa is an intentionally visible neurodiverse leader committed to normalizing women leading authentically with neurodiversity, a diversity and equity champion, and dedicated to delivering work that matters through positive outcomes to businesses and communities. Please help me welcome Fedwa. It's great to have you.
Can I try without that? I'm a very loud person.
Right.
If you can't hear me, just let me know. Hashtag no filter. Hashtag whiplash. That's only two of the complimentary and PG-13 that my much younger sisters that hashtag everything called me. Hashtag no filter, because I truly have no filter. Whatever I think just blurts out, and God, sometimes that is just so embarrassing. And hashtag whiplash, because my stream of consciousness goes from being obsessed or talking about the latest obsession of pants that I'm in to how excited about the latest breakthrough in, for example, medical research for Alzheimer's without a break. And apparently, according to my sister, that is a bit of a competitive sport to keep up with. So I'm a neurodiverse person. I am both autistic and ADHD. And also, as a Gen X woman, I've been told for a very long time I should do better, but I didn't. And truly, the most successful and the most happy I've been is when I really, truly stopped trying to fit in. But that's not what I'm talking here about today. Think about this. What costs businesses up to 10% of their annual revenue with a failure rate of at least 30%? Well, that's bloody bits. Bidding for regulated industries and governments. And I know this because for the last 20 years, I've been in teams and leading teams that win the big contracts for companies like Ericsson, Accenture, Capita, etc. I've seen over the years brilliant people who are burning out doing tasks that have nothing to do with their talents. Things like trying to find 300 compliance elements in a 700 pages RFP and then aligning it with your response and hoping like hell that you haven't missed anything. The competence and the expertise and the brilliance was there, but the time is never there. And then I turned 50. My father has always pushed me to do what I want, passed away, and LLMs came in, ChatGPT, which captured my imagination. And I thought, well, someone should bloody well solve this problem. And that someone might just be me. And now is probably the right time. So together with two of my brilliant co-founders, we started Synthbricks. At its core, it's an enterprise platform for bid writing and compliance. It helps bid professionals with expertise and frameworks for persuasion writing, but also it solves the compliance issue, the finding all the requirements, the categorization, making sure we're answering them correctly, because most of the bids fail before the solution is even considered. So what is Synthbricks exactly and why it is different from other platforms? Well, we're not building another ChatGPT wrapper with a nice interface. We really are building an architecture that encodes best practice for bidding and that at the same time is built with people who are doing the job, and therefore it's not telling them how to do it, but really working with them to solve the problem. So right now, we are deep in working with 4 enterprise clients in co-design, and in 24 weeks we'll be out in the market. The co-design has been challenging to say the least, but also really exciting, especially working with big organizations who have the real problems, the real bids, the real pressures. Next week, we will be sitting with Zero, because when you are in pressurized compliance environments, saying it's going to be good enough is not okay. It really has to be 100%. So we are seeking a partnership with Zero to do a scientific verification of our compliance workflow and results. And hopefully, by then, we have something that really stands on its own. And we can prove, or I can prove, that we can build the platform or the solution that the industry has really been looking for. And maybe I can also prove that a 52 years old neurodiverse woman with a teenager son who mocks me for my accent and for my obsessive research abilities can actually create that product for that industry. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Fredwa. I don't know if you mentioned, did you want to briefly talk about the traction also before launching, or?
What do you mean? That we
The
are
traction,
working?
yeah, with the clients.
Yeah, we are working with 4 enterprise clients to co-design. So we don't have a product yet, but we're co-designing it with the enterprise client and their paying client. And the reason they are paying for it and wanting to co-design with us is because there is a real pain. There's a lot of platforms out there that talk about how quick they can build your bid, but it's not about quick, fast without real strategy is a really speedy road to failure. So yes, we're very excited to do this, and the verification is also very important to us. We'll see.
Right. Thank you so much again. Any questions for Fedwa? Otherwise, again, we'll leave it till a bit later. And next we have Jess Price. Jess, I will keep this with me. So Jess works at the intersection of humans, technology, and future systems. She's the founder of Paradigm Makers, a futures-oriented practice designing for the world of 2075. Jess brings a long horizon perspective to how invisible systems shape work, well-being, and technological outcomes. She challenges the assumption that current systems are broken, arguing instead that they are producing exactly what they were designed to produce. Her current work focuses on translating futures thinking into collective systems-led approaches and designing future human technology systems grounded in care, adaptability, and intentional choice. Please help me welcome Jess.
Thank you. I'm Jess, and I am highly creative, curious, analytical, and strategic. And these traits have always been my disservice in traditional workplaces. And so with my company, it is a culmination of my entire life experience and bringing all of my skills together to show that people who are like me, who don't fit in with traditional organizations, can find their place, even if you have to create it yourself. And I'm doing this because a job left me severely anxious and depressed, and I didn't work for 9 months. And during that experience, I realized it wasn't anything that I had done or the people around me had done. It was a result of the systems and processes that existed. Our workplaces are not designed to support mental health, and that's the ultimate problem. That's what we need to be looking at, is how do we create these systems and processes that can support our mental health at work? Now, at the time, I knew I would one day use my experience to prevent anybody else from going through what I did. I just didn't know how to do it. Once I'd recovered, I started to research the history of work, the history of mental health, and what I realized is you can't fix these problems by focusing on mental health. You need to focus on the underlying structure and everything that work is. Because we talk about the systems being broken, they're not. I've spent 2 years researching the history of work, and I can confidently tell you they are working exactly as they were designed. So that's now what I'm working on. I'm looking at how we can completely change work for a way that actually works for the 21st century. Now, my immediate priority is to identify new business models, because all of the business models that we currently have, all of the best practice, is intentionally designed on these existing systems. So in my first year, I'm on year 3 now. Year 1, I tried to apply to existing business models and best practice, and it didn't work. I kept getting the outcomes I was trying to replace. So year 2, I flipped it. I moved to the future and this vision of the world that I could see. And that's when everything started to click. So I realized I need to be creating new business models if I want to be able to change these systems. So if anyone has any ideas, please let me know. My long-term goal, my 2075 vision, is to create a world where the invisible systems are intentionally designed for flexibility for humans and structure where we need it. Because we can't have all flexibility or all structure. We need to find that right balance. And I know that we can do this because humans have always done this throughout history. But in our lifetimes, we stopped. I'm still trying to identify where, but I think it comes back to one man. And I'm determined to find ways that we can actually do better, because future generations shouldn't be inheriting the problems that we already know exist, that our ancestors knew about. We need to leave something better for future generations. So I also know that I won't do this alone. I know how complex and difficult this challenge is. And so my goal is to bring as many people along as possible, Because if I do it alone, I'm creating a world that works for me and people like me, which is everything that I'm challenging. So I'm still figuring out how to get people involved, but please stay in touch. Yes. Hey? Frederick Taylor. Yeah, look him up. So he changed everything in the first industrial revolution. He standardized everything. The way that we work is because of him. I have a monthly newsletter where I look at one topic throughout history, pre-1760 through to today, and then what the future could be to design some new design principles. And he comes up in pretty much every single edition that I've released. My most recent one I released on Monday was about the history of meetings. I've done the org chart, communication. Taylor pretty much comes up in every single edition. I hate that man with all my existence. But yes, that's all from me. Thank you for your time.
And can I quickly ask, what was the name of your newsletter?
It's called the Moonlit Minds Journal. It's on my LinkedIn if you scan the QR code in my link.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks again. Next, I will introduce Janet, and then back to Shayoni. Janet Moeller. Hi. After a 30-year career as a teacher and principal across the USA, Hong Kong, and Australia, Janet has become the go-to for AI in education, helping schools and leaders implement AI safely, ethically, and effectively. Janet is also the creator of Teacharo, a voice-first asynchronous AI agent that takes instructions on the run and does the teacher's admin work while they focus on their students. Please help me welcome Janet. Janet Moeller, thank you.
Thank you, Amir. Yeah, like my bio said, I'm a third generation teacher, head of school, principal, all of that. And over the 30 years, I've seen teacher burnout increase to the point that we now are facing a global teacher shortage, where up to 50% of teachers are thinking about leaving the profession in the next 5 years. And those are the people that you hand your children off to every morning with a smile. As I've been watching over 30 years some of the causes associated with that, there are a number of those. And in short, what I've seen is levels and needs of compliance increase for good reason. We've had royal commissions and child safety and all of that. So the compliance has increased. And also the numbers of platforms to address each of the single issues has increased, and none of them talk to each other. So as I've been interviewing teachers for the past couple of years, one of the things that they will roll their eyes at, first and foremost, is if you say, let's have a meeting to talk about another piece of technology. Because they didn't go into teaching to work with technology or to work at their desks. They went into teaching to work with humans. So what I've created with Teacharo is the ability for teachers to work to their workflows, which is they want to focus on the students. And we've gotten to the point now where AI, we can keep them away from the platforms now, and AI can start to do the work for them. So we've created an asynchronous agent. When I say on the run, what you can see is a teacher who's on recess duty or lunch duty and has to keep their eyes on their students all the time. Well, there are platforms out there where if something happens on the playground, they can take out their phones and they can put down what happened. And if they don't do that immediately, then it becomes something they have to do at 4:30 when the teachers leave, when all the students leave, and after their meetings, when they're tired. So as I've been talking to teachers, I'm like, well, how do you keep track of all the things then that you have to be able to document later? And what they tell me is we write them on our hands. We write things on our arms. We put them on Post-it notes. Or some of them say it just stays in my brain all day and I start worrying about all the different things that I have to do when the students leave. They come to school in the morning, they have notes from parents, they have all these things that continue to stick in their mind, and that cognitive overload or that mental overload that they're experiencing is also part of the problem. So Teacharo, the point of Teacharo is to extricate them from that mental load so that between classes, at the end of recess, at the beginning of the day, they can tell the agent what they need to do. Please write an email to Bobby's parents, let him know that he took a tumble on the playground, we gave him ice, he's going to be fine. And they turn it off, they hit transcribe, and they go back to work with their students, and the agent does the writing for them. So the email's done, there's an incident report that's done for this platform over here, and all that hidden admin work that would otherwise be at 4:30 can be done immediately. So we're saving the teachers that mental and cognitive overload. So what I would ask from you, you're not my ideal clients, because if you were, you would be in a school right now. But if you know of any principals or teachers, we are still in the pilot phase. Our traction is we're working currently with 2 schools, closing in on a paid pilot that we're very excited about. The brief asked what I've learned. I thought about 3 things that I've been learning over the past 2 years. I think one of the biggest things that I've learned is just when you think you're close, like close to pilot, close to launching, expect the unexpected. So in our cases, I've taken care of all the security and that sort of thing, but what I didn't expect is that privacy and information isn't just privacy and security laws, it's also health laws in New South Wales, Victoria, and the ACT. So also our brand, we had to change because we couldn't trademark it. So little last minute details that you would never expect. But then the second thing that I learned as a result of that is just as you're getting close and you think you're getting close, but then you also see how far you have to go. I've been talking to my co-founder and I about looking back at what we've accomplished instead of how much we still have to do. And that's helped keep us in that good headspace. I guess the third thing that I've learned over the last couple of years is that imposter syndrome isn't just one thing, it's a very layered thing. So for my journey, I think the first thing I had to overcome was I'm a teacher and I'm a principal. Well, actually now I'm a business owner and I'm an entrepreneur, and that's a very different space. Right now, my imposter syndrome, I'm not a coder, I'm not a techie. My COO and CTO now have Claude Code on my computer, and I'm building my first agent because I found out that I can't just be a domain expert. I have to understand the technology myself to be able to do that. So I'm getting over my imposter syndrome of I'm not a techie. So my encouragement to you, you've come a long way. You've got expertise, and yeah, the imposter syndrome is real, and I'm not sure it's ever going to end. There you go. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jenna. All right, we've got 2 more speakers to go. Next, we have Dr. Mahtab Mirmameni. Doctor? So Dr. Mahtab is an award-winning technology leader and AI ML scientist specializing in healthcare innovation. She's the founder and CEO of ExerWatch, an AI-powered remote monitoring technology that tracks patient and athlete exercise adherence and correctness. Mahtab brings 20-plus years of experience in industry in various technical and leadership roles, including leading AI in healthcare initiatives at IBM Research. Mahtab has authored several US patents and numerous peer-reviewed publications in top conferences and journals. She advocates for diversity in STEM, has been a mentor with the Australian Academy of Science and Technology since 2020, and received numerous accolades, including the 2025 Stern & Chalk's International Women's Day Scholarship and a finalist in the 2024 Women of Color in STEM Healthcare Innovation Awards. Please help me welcome Dr. Mahtab. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here today, meeting everyone. And I'm a new member in the startup space, so very excited to be here today. As Amir mentioned, my name is Mahtab, and I'm the founder and CEO of ExerWatch. My company, ExerWatch, focuses on monitoring if patients and athletes are doing their exercises according to what was prescribed by their physiotherapists and other exercise prescribers, and if they're doing it with the correct technique. The idea of ExerWatch was born from my PhD and my co-founder's PhD. I have a background in technology, I started as a software engineer 20 years ago, and I moved in various roles. I always wanted to go back into research and study further, and I did my master's in Melbourne Uni back in 2011, and got involved in health tech research. And that's how I segued into health tech. And then I worked in IBM research at a global level in the healthcare space. And I then went back to Melbourne Uni to do my PhD. And as part of that journey, I became aware of the problem that physios, when they prescribe exercises, they have no idea if the patient actually did them. The patient goes home, they have anxiety over doing the exercises incorrectly, so they abandon the exercises. So I worked with the physios in my PhD, and that's how ExaWatch was born after my PhD. I've been in the startup space in the past couple of years. I've been through various accelerators and learned a lot along the way. So I came from technology and research, and I've had to learn a lot about how a business is run, how to think about business, capital, and great learnings along the way. I've really enjoyed it. It's obviously there's a lot of hurdles, challenges, but I've definitely, I keep going, and I'm enjoying the ride. As Amir mentioned, I really I've been an advocate for women in STEM, and these types of events. International Women's Day is very close to my heart. It's very important that we support women along the journey, both women supporting women and men supporting women. I was the founder of Women in Tech Club at the University of Melbourne back in 2013. And I love to see all these events and support for the women and the networks that are shaping in Melbourne. And yeah, very excited. Happy to have a conversation with anyone after the event. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And next, and last but definitely not least, we have Shayoni Biswas. Please help me welcome Shayoni. Shayoni is the founder of Yama XAI. Did I pronounce that correctly? Yep. An AI native platform helping appointment-based businesses recover lost revenue through intelligent automation. With a background spanning Avanade at Microsoft, engineering consulting across Melbourne, London, San Francisco, and years of experience in data science and ML engineering, Shayoni builds technology that solves real commercial problems. She's currently growing Yama XAI, which is already established overseas, from the ground up in the Australian market. Please help me welcome Shayoni.
Hi. Oh, wow. Hi, everyone. Had some amazing presentations this morning, and congratulations to all of you. I'm Shayoni. I'm the founder of Yama XAI. Yama XAI is a revenue enforcement tool specifically for appointment-based businesses. And we help businesses recover their revenue. So we have talked with multiple businesses across all verticals, be it health, hospitality. And what we saw is that businesses lose almost 23 to 68% of revenue, which they had no idea about until like we told them like, hey, this is where you're losing real revenue. So Yama XAI basically helps plug that gap in the business. So a lot of systems and businesses, they work in silos and they do not have an overall insight about what's happening. So we orchestrate the whole workflow, starting from taking calls, doing the outreach, data analytics. We have an amazing dashboard as well, which kind of shows you a lot of KPIs, such as secured versus unsecured revenue. Overall, I think our product has been live since sometime last year, like end of last year, and we have saved almost like 14K in revenue for all these businesses, along with like 40 man hours. And right now, we are working with health practices in Australia and New Zealand after the product has been proven in US, in India, and in Dubai. So instead of me talking about the product, I thought like, this is something that we did in a real world scenario with our hospitality partner. This is a pilot that we did. Here, what you would see is like the agents doing the whole workflow. So taking the call, logging it in, and doing the outreach. So you'll see like a sequence of agents doing the work. And again, this has happened in a real world scenario. May I just request you to? It's a very short demo. It's just like a 1 minute. That's our dashboard. Is the voice there?
Hello, this is Sarah. How can I assist you with your booking today? May I have your name, please?
Jennifer,
What date would you like to check in?
11th of December, please.
And what date will you check out?
15th of December.
What time do you expect to arrive?
We'll be arriving around 2 in the afternoon.
How many guests will be staying?
Just the two of us.
Could I get your email so we can send your booking details?
Jennifer@gmail.com.
Thank you. Your booking is confirmed. Our outreach agent will contact you shortly for any additional assistance.
Thanks, bye.
From your hotel, we are offering a discounted buffet lunch. Would you like to avail this offer?
Yes, I would like to avail this offer, please.
Great. I have noted that you want to avail the buffet lunch. Thank you. Hi, Jennifer. This is the collections desk from your hotel. We sent
yeah.
you a payment link for your booking of amount 500.0 USD.
Yep.
If you have any issues, we will connect you to a human agent in a later step. If not, no action is needed. Thank you and have a nice day.
So yeah, that's all that happened in 1 minute. But of course, the conversation is a little bit short. But you just saw like how the agents are able to, just like talk with each other. They share the same state, like technically speaking, so they know what is going where. They are deterministic in nature, which means they don't hallucinate. They follow a certain pattern, a certain workflow. And yeah, they do that completely end to end. You can see like where your business is going, what KPIs are there in your business, and things like that. I do have a small team. I'm technical myself, so I am from Melbourne. So I did my master's in RMIT in data science, started working with Avanade and then Microsoft out here in Melbourne before I moved to London and then San Francisco for some time. I think this is a great community coming back to, and I think we as a team, as a company, we can give a lot more back to small businesses, medium-sized businesses, and help them recover their revenue. So that's my goal of, again, like coming back to Melbourne, getting in the community, helping them out. So we do have a small team. I'm technical myself, build the product ground up. We are doing a lot of product and feature iterations as of now. We are looking for partners maybe who have an idea about the health business out here in Australia and New Zealand in general, or might have some good insights about the market. We are in GTM mode right now, so we are going to market. We are talking to a lot of people. We are seeing that the businesses are facing similar sort of problems everywhere. which is a signal that, the market does need something like that. But at the same time, I think if you are somebody who is associated with health businesses, have any insight on the market, please feel free to reach out. We are conducting pilots as of now, and we have got some partners, but would love to, talk to you or understand, your understanding as well. Yeah, so that's me. And you can, I think, get in touch with me with my QR code. You can find me on LinkedIn. And would love to have a coffee catch up with you. Again, getting to be in Melbourne feels amazing. So yeah, that's all for me. And thank you everyone for listening to me patiently. Thank you. Cheers.
I might ask all the speakers to step up, please, and maybe we'll do some rapid fire questions. So all the speakers today, if you want to just come up. First of all, let's give them another round of applause, please. Questions from the audience. Otherwise, I'm happy to kick off. Any questions? Yep. Just pass you the mic.
Hi, Jess. I was curious what your work history was that led you to this current journey.
So I spent a decade in the higher education sector, but I'm technically a lawyer. I never practiced though because I kept asking questions and the answer was always, that's how we do it. And I couldn't live with that. I couldn't imagine that being my career.
Thank you.
Other questions? Questions from the room? I've got a question. Do you have any tips or strategies for early stage women in entrepreneurship? I'll give you the mic, but anyone is welcome to answer.
Just be delusional and go for it.
Talk to lots of people, both in your industry and outside your industry. Some of the questions that have led me to discoveries have been from talking to people outside the education industry.
Amazing point. Just don't listen when people say that you can't do this. Just go ahead and do it. I think women in tech, I think I've faced that myself, so I can say like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. But nonetheless, I've just gone, give it my best shot, and I think over a lot of my failed attempts, I've actually mastered it, like over the years. So it's not a one-day scenario. You have to take one step at a time and be patient as well, which my dad keeps on reminding, like, be patient, which I'm not a lot of times. But yeah, you have to be patient, you have to be like out there doing your thing, keep your head down, keep going. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons or something that I follow still like to date. So yeah, hopefully that can help you too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Great points. I would just say, talk to people as well and network. A lot of my clients, even the people that I work with, my head of commercialization, is all through networks and people that start to believe in your idea, start to share the vision, and then they jump on. Especially when you're still pre-revenue, it's all of that is coming through those networks and personal connections. So very important.
I agree with all of that. For me, the hardest part has been trying to explain what I do. And that's been something I've dealt with my entire career. So I worked in higher ed, but I was an academic. I did policy. I dealt with students. I did technology stuff. I'm a generalist, and we don't have a really nice way to tie everything we do in, like put it into a box and then tie the bow around it. And so this year I've decided to stop trying to fit what I do into a box. I know people don't understand it, and I'm okay with that because I need to stay with the complexity. And I think when you try to simplify it, you lose that complexity and the nuance, which is so important when you're doing something that either doesn't exist or that is quite different to what we currently have.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I think for early stage founders, the most important skill you need to have is sell, right? You're gonna sell, all right? You're gonna sell your product. If you don't have a product, sell yourself, and you're gonna sell to everyone, right? Sell to your mom if she's buying, okay? And I think it's quite a lot of female founders. We like to stay in our comfort zone. We like to wait for everything to be perfect. So we feel like it's presentable, then we can talk to people, then we can sell. No. It's gonna happen way much earlier. And you're gonna treat it as the top one mission or priorities you're gonna have for your business to have a chance to survive.
Other questions in the room? Yeah. Russ?
Could I ask each of you what you see as the biggest opportunity in the marketplace in front of you going ahead now? I know, Jess, you spoke about what was, and you look into the future. What do you see the opportunities for your businesses and for women in business?
I'm not sure it's specific to women in business, but I would challenge people to think outside of the box with AI, that AI does not equal ChatGPT. There are lots of layers to AI that started 20, 30 years ago that can help the solutions today. Also, when you think about AI, we've got that horizontal where it knows everything if it's a chatbot like ChatGPT and stuff. But the real opportunities is how does it apply to your industry? How can you make it vertical and apply to the specific problems of people in your industry beyond just a chatbot?
In terms of where we are, our industry, where we see the future, we want to define a category that everyone has been dancing around, but no one has been resolving, and that's around compliance, verification. And that's what we're doing with Zero. In the long term, so that's for me, problem zero or fixing problem zero is that. But in the future, I mean, the work winning, everyone sells to make money. Every business does. And every business that sells in competitive industries, so through competitive pursuits, needs a platform that helps them through the whole process. So that starts from very early on, ideation, qualification, strategy, all the way to closing a deal. And there is a lot there. In terms of, the other part of your question was around women. Can you just remind me? My brain is a bit like a sieve, so. I think I'm a Gen X, I'm 52. I've gone through when, because you were a woman, you were treated a lot differently than when you were a man, to now where the opportunities are wide open. So what we need to do is really grab them, support each other as women, and find those men that also are there to champion us. There is so many opportunities. Keep up with all the emerging technology and think about, like you said, what is the use case for where you're interested, for your industry, for your focuses. The future is brighter. I'm so happy to be living in this time and seeing all what's happening. It's a great time to be.
Opportunities, okay. So because what we are building is an AI native B2B platform. I feel that there's a lot of noise where AI is going right now, like, in the market and everything. People are saying, like, we are doing this, doing that, but not a lot of it is generating any result, like any specific result for businesses. So I feel like there's a lot of gaps in every other vertical, if I see it like that. There are a lot of problems which are not being solved. Something as simple as, how do I say it? Something as simple as, for an example, like something that helps you probably conduct your meetings or something. You've got, yes, the AI note tracker and everything like that, but probably there's a link missing which might be connecting to your own diary or something like that. I'm just like thinking out of the box. But yeah, like there are a lot of gaps, and when I'm talking to customers, I feel that as well. They might be having like a lot of tools with them, but are they getting the real insights that they need for their business? Probably not. And I think that's where you can actually go in, build something for them, help them out. And when they see that, they're like, yeah, okay, I didn't think that it can happen this way. A lot of times, like, because I have been a consultant, I've been a data consultant, so a lot of times businesses think that they know everything, but that's not the case. And opportunities are will come to you when you directly talk to people, or you know, you want to work in something, maybe health, maybe in tech, maybe in energy. Go talk to people, understand where they're coming from, maybe ask about their problems and pain points. Like for me, a lot of times I go on asking people or business owners, like, what are your operational pain points, maybe? Like, where do you think you are lacking? And that's when the answers come. So yeah, I mean, coming to your point as well, like, you know, talking to people, going out there, there's a lot of places where I think we can help. And AI is just not, again, iterating on what, like reiterating on what you just said. Like AI is just not some chatbot. There's a lot of ways we can use it. Of course, there's policy, governance, and compliance that comes along the way as well. But it can help you, like, you know, 10x your business or your efficiency. And we can see that even with, you know, the Claudebot or the even chatbots, like, not chatbots, like Claudebot. I myself use Claude. So Claude Code or something that you use. Which is good. Like, you know, sometimes, like, you know, for me, like, I've been like a back-end engineer, so I've never done front-end, but I design my website myself, like our company website. So I learned that in like 2-3 days once I started using Cloud Code. So that was very easy for me to do. So I think that ways AI is quite efficient. That's always going to be, and that's going to go like 10x as the days we come. Opportunity is definitely out there, but we need to keep an open mind and not be very conservative. And of course, policy governance, very important, as they already said. Yeah, I think I've spoken a little bit more. Mehtab, if you want to go.
No, I absolutely agree. I think, you know, AI is covered. There's still a lot of opportunities in health tech and sports tech, which is where my company works in, specifically with AI. And a lot of untapped opportunities there. But I do want to, because I come from a AI background myself, I do want to bring that perspective of responsible AI, and especially in healthcare, education, you know, how do we ensure our children are actually, you know, learning and, you know, going back to education, and, you know, with AI, you know, it's shifting society. It's, you know, how do we ensure those, you know, education, human values are sustained? So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. For women specifically, you know, any problems that are women specific and, you know, come from that lens, there's opportunities there for them. I would say that for me, I came through the journey also raising 2 kids, and, you know, getting that support along the way, very important as well. Just coming back to that, you know, getting support from the people around you and also the community.
The future is human. I saw a report on LinkedIn the other day, and it was all about HR in a digital-first future. And I don't know about anyone else, but I did not like that, because in that version of the world, we go down the dystopian path where we all just live with our headsets on and we're in these pods and we get our food through, I don't know how. But that's not the future I see, and I don't think that's the future a lot of us see or that we actually want. So we can decide what the future is. If we want a digital first future, and if there are people that want that future, sure, go ahead and build it. But I'm more excited in the opportunities for people. So AI is something that it seems new, but we have always dealt with this. Back when the camera first came out, it was going to kill art. We still have art, we still have photos. The calculator came along, that was going to kill our mental capacity to do math. I think we're all grateful we have the computer. AI is just the new version of the calculator. And I think we can sometimes miss that. And I use AI. I accidentally built a tech company, but I'm not a tech company because AI is a tool that enables me to do what I do. It allows me to do the human work. And for our women and non-binary people in particular, I think it's really important to remember that everything we do now was designed by somebody in the past. So if you see something in your life and you don't like it, go and find out how it came to be. That's how I started doing what I'm doing, because I was curious as to why we had a 2-day weekend. It comes back to what everything comes back to: booze, gambling, and religion. And if you go back and you actually look at where all of these came from, it was majority men who made these decisions. So now we have an opportunity to start designing the future that we want to see.
Thank you, Jess. I hold a different view on the future. I think the agentic AI is where is an inevitable trend in the future. And now we see the couple of years from the large language models to AI agent, vertical agent to basically improve the productivities and efficiencies. Now I see the future of the need to building the infrastructures for the AI agent. What I mean, do they have an identity? Do they have a payment? Can they have a bank account? Okay, if your company using an AI agent, how are you going to do performance review? How are you make sure that they follow the rules of what you define? So I think it's an old saying that when everyone is going to dig the gold, you're going to build a shovel, right? So I think that infrastructure is a huge opportunity. And for women, I also thinking this is an opportunity for reside, come to reside on the perceptions for the societies of women, of perception. I think the bias, all those things from recruitment, from doing business and everything. I think with a brand new AI agent infrastructure, this is the time for reset.